Okay, here we go, back and forth. But, well, it's fun. And besides, we're all going to know within a matter of months, maybe a year, depending on when the exact release date will be for Snyder Cut. It could be September of next year, and it's still September as I'm taping this, so that could be a year. So, anyway, back and forth with rumors about Ryan Reynolds reprising his role as Hal Jordan and appearing as the Green Lantern who appears to Bruce Wayne. Now, this has been leaked a long time ago that there was this scene shot, the Bruce Wayne part of it. And for a long time, I thought it would be more of the alien Green Lanterns, and this was just sort of a little Easter egg snapshot thing leading to a Green Lantern franchise for DC or Warner Brothers to deal with on themselves, and that sort of thing. And so that it might have been, a lot of people suspected it could be Tomari and Kilowog showing up to discuss, I guess, the New Gods and Darkseid with Bruce Wayne, Batman, And maybe that's what it was, but it was one of these end of Justice League sort of teasers that happened. The other one being Diana finding the cave. There were cave paintings. I guess they're not cave paintings, but ancient paintings of Darkseid, and being an ominous, foreshadowing of things to come. So this is Abounding in the Comics article responding to this, and that Grace Randolph. So, of course, go to the Grace Randolph video because she has all the sources and stuff. And she's been talking about this, and it's important to note to not just ignore her on these matters. There's a lot of people in YouTube channels, and they all have their scoops and whatnot and sources, and sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. You got to measure what the credibility is. With her, she managed to get an actual interview with Zack Snyder. So how'd that happen? So I think there's a lot to this. And basically what she made in her point was that Snyder wanted to do this, that he wanted Ryan Reynolds to come in and do that scene. Now, this would be a quick teaser scene at the end. He's not going to be joining the Justice League in the Snyder Cut and all that sort of stuff, but he would show up there for that confrontation or meeting or what have you, if you will, for Batman to meet the Green Lanterns. And so it was always going to happen, and I thought it might have been the alien versions of them. But now they actually have Hal Jordan. They may have there was this other actor they're talking about. Some people suspected he might have been Zack Snyder's Hal Jordan and all this sort of stuff. But as it is now, and going in the direction they're going, especially with the upcoming Flash film, wanting to do tributes to all their past DC movies and whatnot, and having cameos from and even bringing back Michael Keaton for it and all that type of stuff, to the point that they apparently sent out discussions with Nick Cage to actually appear as his Superman character for a film that never came about. There was testing and costume tests, and you can see the pictures of him in the suit and all that. But the idea that they wanted him, even talk to him to see if they could get him for the CW crossover series, and that didn't happen. But for the movies, it might, and all that sort of thing, that they might want to do that. It stands to reason that this is the sort of thing that might actually happen. Now, you do the scene. It's already been stated, and it's not all that surprising that they're pushing for a John Stewart version of Green Lantern to be a part of Justice League, because, and in a lot of ways, obviously with the current time, and you can say, oh, well, it's because he's black and they don't want too many white guys on all that. That does play into it. That's the way the era we're in. However, John Stewart's a well-established character, and he's not a race-swapped character. He's his own original character, and within the narrative of Green Lantern, it's a core. There's several of them. They're all over the place, and so it's not too much of a stretch that there could be another human being as a Green Lantern. And so there was this rumor about a buddy cop type story where an older Hal Jordan would mentor a new Green Lantern, and that new Green Lantern would be John Stewart, and sort of hand it off to him. And so now it's been some time since that movie that Ryan Reynolds did, and it bombed, and he took a lot of crap for it. He made fun of it in his Deadpool movies to sort of ease the wound, I guess. But I never held him responsible for its failure. I think the story in and of itself had too many plot holes in it, a big one in it at the end about, how he destroys Parallax and the rest of the Corps just couldn't figure that out. But having him come back and reprise that role is not a bad idea. And if they do that buddy cop movie, I don't know how they're going to do with the HBO Max series, if that's connected, if it's the same thing, or if the movie would be Jon Stewart's adventures and the HBO Max series would be the other Green Lanterns, and maybe Guy Gardner or whatever, or Jon Stewart leads that and Hal Jordan would be in the movie. I don't know, but that movie idea of him mentoring him, and that's how they pay, is not a bad idea. And then for Justice League, it would be, Jon Stewart on the team, and they want to reflect the Justice League cartoon series, which was very popular, and that was a very good show that they did. The first one was Justice League, and it was Justice League Unlimited, and in my opinion, ended too soon, but maybe it was for the best, because since then, they haven't been able to produce that type of high quality for their animated movies and whatnot. It's nowhere near to that standard that they set with those 90s animated cartoons. And so, but they look at that and how well that worked out. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with Jon Stewart and get great stories out of him for that. And especially the Cosmic Odyssey story. If you look that up, that's a great one for developing his character and going forward with that. That would be a really cool thing to see. So they could do that with Ryan Reynolds. He wouldn't be fully back for, I don't know if they would do a 3-picture deal for him to be Hal Jordan and all that sort of stuff. But if they did that buddy cop, there was rumors that Tom Cruise was in talks to do that, and that sounded pretty serious. But I don't think that's even on the table anymore. But the concept of it could be, and it could just be Ryan Reynolds. He's older now. He's not, so he could be the veteran Green Lantern, and he's got a student, and they could pit them both against Sinestro. And even though Mark Strong is now Dr. Savannah for the Shazam films, he made a damn good looking Sinestro, and he was really good at it. So what? He's in the makeup and stuff. He looks different. Let him do both roles. And they could do that. I'd be all for that. So this could lead to that if how it comes out, rather than just being this sort of tribute to it and all of that. He could be their Hal Jordan, if only for a small amount of time, to cast the baton to whoever they cast for Jon Stewart. And that could be how they do it. I don't know. Plus, this plays into, is that one of the scenes that Snyder's going to shoot in October? There's been some scuttlebutt that Henry Cavill kind of poured water on it, that he wouldn't be a part of that, and it was supposed to be him and Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot and Ray Fisher coming in it. Then it seems to be that this was all a part of sticking it to Ray Fisher because of that whole soap opera going on. But maybe it's this, He's going to shoot this scene and then the Martian Manhunter scenes. He's got to do that. Because a lot of his stuff is shot, and it's like in this instance, he shot the Batman part of it, but the Green Lantern part isn't there. Of course, it could have just been the CGI aliens, but now it could actually be Ryan Reynolds, whatever the lines and dialogue are. Maybe he just appears, and that would be pretty simple. But, of course, contracts and whatnot. But it could also springboard or spin off into a new Green Lantern adventure for Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan. And that could be the deal. So lots of stuff to get excited about and to speculate. It could go all over the place, or it could just flop and the subscriptions are terrible and they just forget about it. I don't think so. I think it'll do well, but the problem is the pressure and where Snyder Cut finds itself. They're banking an awful lot on it, so it's got to do even better than just good. So that's just the way it is. But interesting tidbits here, especially since Zack Snyder, according to Grace Randolph, really wanted to do this scene. So that's a lot of pull and power that he has now in the position he's in with his cut. It could happen. And who knows where that could lead? Who knows? Well, of course, time does, because eventually we'll find out. All right, thanks for watching. All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.